the Yoshiwara pleasure quarters of Edo, a place everyone yearned for. Yet, behind its glamorous doors lay a hell unimaginable in modern times. Refined entertainment, beautiful oiran, splendid culture. The Edo pleasure quarters we often imagine might be nothing more than a fantasy. This time, we delve into the untold truths of Edo's pleasure quarters, hidden beneath its splendor, and the tragic destinies of those who lived within them. During the Edo period, pleasure quarters existed across the country, but the most renowned was Edo's Yoshiwara. It was an entertainment district officially sanctioned by the shogunate. Yet, despite its official status, Yoshiwara was designed as an extraordinary space, completely isolated from the outside world. There was only one entrance, guarded by a strict checkpoint, and the comings and goings of people were rigorously monitored. So why did women enter these isolated pleasure quarters? There lay a reality that one would rather turn away from. Most yūjo, or courtesans, were sold into the pleasure quarters against their will, due to poverty or their family's debts. The act of selling a daughter was often a last resort for parents, and many girls were sent to the pleasure quarters from a very young age. This was akin to modern human trafficking, and they were bound by long-term contracts known as nenkihoko or indentured servitude. These contracts, even at their shortest, lasted for 10 years and often extended for over 20, during which time they could never be truly free. Furthermore, at the time of their contract, a large upfront loan was incurred, and the yūjo had to continue working tirelessly to repay this debt. This debt became the greatest shackles, binding the yūjo to the pleasure quarters. Within the pleasure quarters, there was a strict hierarchy, at the top of which were the oiran. They were truly special beings. To become an oiran, one had to undergo rigorous education and training in various arts from a young age. Calligraphy, flower arrangement, tea ceremony, waka poetry, koto, shamisen, and more. They were required to possess culture, beauty, and refinement. They were not mere courtesans but embodied the culture of the time, so to speak, living works of art. The Oiran Dōch, or Oiran procession, was their symbol. Their magnificent appearance, clad in luxurious attire and parading with many attendants, was breathtaking. However, this splendor was limited to only a handful of yūjo. Most were categorized as lower ranking. Their lives were extremely harsh, as they toiled from morning till night in deplorable conditions. Their meals were meager and lacked nutrition, sleep was short, and poor sanitation led to the rampant spread of diseases. Syphilis, in particular, was severe, causing many yūjo to suffer and eventually lose their lives. To meet an oiran, one needed considerable social standing and wealth. They were not easily accessible to just anyone. Newcomers were refused, and initially, one had to invite an oiran to a place called a nagiya, where a formal introduction ceremony was required. Only after a third such introduction was one finally permitted to share a bed with an oiran. The cost was astronomical. The relationship between yūjo and their clients was primarily economic, but some did fall deeply in love. However, yūjo had low social status, and marriage to a client was extremely difficult. Most of these stories ended in tragedy. Even after their indentured terms ended, many yūjo had not repaid their debts in full, making escape from the pleasure quarters an extremely difficult feat. Due to debt, their terms were often extended, and it was not uncommon for some to spend their entire lives in the pleasure quarters. Some attempted ashinuk, or desperate escapes from the pleasure quarters, risking their lives, but if caught, severe punishment awaited them. Many died from illness or took their own lives out of despair. It is said that the average lifespan of a yūjo was only in their 20s. Even more horrifyingly, it was not uncommon for incidents to escalate from patronizing a courtesan to murdering a courtesan. The lives of yūjo were treated lightly, and their bodies were often sent to Najikamidara, or throw-in temples, as unclaimed persons. Their names were forgotten, and countless tragedies were buried in the darkness. Yoshiwara was also a hub for Edo culture and trends. becoming the subject of vibrant ukiyo-e prints and literature. For the people of that era, Yoshiwara was a place of longing and admiration, where a unique aesthetic sense and the culture of iki, or sophisticated elegance, flourished. However, we must not forget that behind this splendor lay the sacrifices of countless women and the cruel aspects of human nature. As the era shifted to Meiji, the government aimed to abolish the public prostitution system, and the pleasure quarters began to transform. However, even as they changed form, the system of pleasure quarters persisted for a long time, and the suffering of women continued. Then, after World War II, under the directive of GHQ, the public prostitution system was finally and completely abolished. Edo's glamorous world of shadows disappeared from the stage of history. The pleasure quarters of Edo were not merely districts of entertainment. They were a mirror reflecting the social structure of the time, where light and shadow, beauty and tragedy intertwined, a microcosm of human drama. Today, as we look back on this history, we must not forget the sacrifices of countless women hidden behind its glamorous culture. To remember the lives they lived, that is an important lesson we must learn from the past. We hope this video has helped deepen your understanding of the Edo period. If you enjoyed it, please let us know your thoughts on this video or any topics you'd like us to cover in the comments section. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video. Your support encourages our work. Next time, we'll continue to delve deep into truths hidden in the shadows of history, so please look forward to it.